Hey y'all, hey, we back for another review of Sisters on BET. We are finally at the season finale. If I ain't messed it up this time. Finally at the season finale. We on season 5, episode 2, entitled Too Little, Too Late. So, let's just jump right into this thing. Fatima is looking speechless after Zach has confronted her about Joey and baby Joey Jr. And he's really grilling her like, girl, you gave me all this trouble about my baby mamas, and you got a whole child over here that you don't want, you don't like, whatever it is the situation is. What's really going on? And Fatima is kind of brushing the situation off, and she claims that there's nothing to really tell. She's interested in going to dinner. And so she's trying to call Joey, and Zach is like, listen, tell me what's going on because something ain't right. So she thinks it was, she claims it was so long ago that it ain't really worth talking about. And then she goes on to say, well, hell, I just didn't want the little bastard. Again, that's a quote to her. I ain't said it. From her, I ain't said it. And so, right in this moment, that's when I knew that the Tyler Perry switch was coming in, because she was smirking and she was laughing a little bit. And, so now, Zach picks up like, hey, this is probably a joke, because she's so unbothered by the situation. And so Fatima busts out laughing, and she's like, gotcha. And I guess was some sort of sick joke that she played on him. And then she asked him like, well, hey, how did that make you feel, Zach? And so now he knows how she feels about having to find out about like Karen and Heather. And to me, it was a very weird way to express your displeasure of how you found out that he has baby mamas. It was a weird way to say it kind of hurt my feelings. Like, that whole thing was unnecessary. That's the gist of what I need to say about that. It was unnecessary for you to put on this elaborate hoax. You could use those resources for something greater. You could use those evils for something greater. Maybe, I don't know, getting Hayden the hell up off Earth. That would be nice. But anyway, she used her powers for evil and decided, to concoct this whole baby daddy situation, have them come to the house, have the man sell the story to Zach, I guess to invoke the same emotion that she felt when Heather popped up with the baby, when Karen popped up with the baby. However, like Zach told her, you found out about these baby mamas the same time as I did, so it wasn't no big conspiracy. So weird, but okay, girl. The whole thing was just, it was unnecessary. It's a couple things. It's a couple scenes in this episode that was like, it was very unnecessary, and we could have got a lot more information had you not put this dumbass shit in here. And this is one of them. All right, moving right along. So Jennifer is outside of Karen's shop, and she is just yelling. And so Karen finally shows up. She finally gets outside, and Jennifer's kind of low key spilling on Aaron. And he was like, "Is he with you too, girl?" And I was like, not you too, girl. Is he with you too? You better tell her everything that you did. And so basically, they're both having a scream match, and Aaron is coming from the perspective of trying to over yell Jennifer, like that. He's trying to over talk her so she don't say too much to Karen, pretty much. And so she's trying to really, spill on him, but like I said, he's over yelling her, so she can't really get information out. And so she decides to slap fire out of his ass and walks off. Without giving Karen all the information that she came to give her. Now, for me, it couldn't have been me. You're not going to stop me from accomplishing my mission. I don't give a damn how hard you overtalk me, sir, Mr. Sir. I'm going to tell Karen what it is that I need to tell about you, Mr. Joe, John, Paul, Aaron, whatever your name is at this particular moment. She's already here. You don't know the next time you're going to see this lady. You done showed up at her job. You done caused all this commotion. Now, while you did good. You did good because you didn't direct that anger at Karen, because Karen's probably just as oblivious as you is or were, right? However, you already here. Go ahead and tell her what you need to tell her and exit stage left. But you didn't get to it. But you slap fire at him, so I'll take it. Because it feels warranted. It feels like there's some little underlying things up under Aaron's Mr. Good Guy persona, so fine. All right. So Jennifer is gone, and he explains to Karen that Jennifer has been stalking him, and he needs to go file a police report immediately. So now he in a rush to leave and go file this police report. Now, I'm going to be under the assumption that you're a little sneaky, and you're not going to file a report. You're probably going to go try to smooth things out with Miss Jennifer on the side, but we're going to see you next season. Anyway, he's gonna go file a report and he's gonna explain later. So he's hurried off to the police station, and Pam lets Karen know, like, hey, I was able to grab her license plate number, and I know an old girl at the DMV, so she can give me that information, and we can talk to her on the side and see what's really going on. I can call in a favor to my homegirl, which Pam, appreciate the sentiment. Since you ain't get the information on the front end, I'm gonna get it on the back end. And guess what? I don't have no problem with it. It just is what it is. We're just gonna have to get to the bottom some way, somehow. And because Karen is kind of giving Aaron the benefit of the doubt, the benefit. Okay, you're going off of all that you know. All that you know is Aaron is a good guy, so of course you're gonna give him the benefit of the doubt until you don't have to. But this would have been the pivotal moment for me to stop giving that many benefits and that many doubts. But we're gonna go along with it. And Pam reminds her, like, listen, his wife did off herself in your shop, and so Aaron, while you're a nice guy, it's a whole lot of drama that comes with you. So you and Zach ain't really that different. Why you think you so much better just because your countenance is cheery. Y'all got a whole lot of shit to come with y'all, and it's giving similar. Okay? All right. Sorry, y'all. I had a little bit of coffee, so the levels is high. Anyway, moving right along. So the next day, we're at Maurice's, and Calvin finally comes home, and Maurice decides to apologize. And he claims that he tells Calvin, like, hey, I'm about to go get all my stuff back. He has a tracker on his car. He's going to go to the airport and get his stuff back. And Calvin wants to remind him, like, listen, you might just want to let it go. Maurice said, listen, I have spare keys. And I was confused because he said he had spare keys. So what I thought is he was going to go find his car, use his spare key, and take it back. No. By the end of the episode, you learn that no, Q has stolen your spare keys, and you want to go get your spare key and your original key and your car and everything back. I don't know why you think he would have it with him at the job, but I don't think that plan was well thought out. But whatever, it might cost you in the end, but we'll get to that at the end of the episode. All right, so he tells him that, and Calvin reminds him, like, listen, you need to keep your nose clean because you have trial coming up. Like, the block is hot. You are also out on bail, so there's a lot of things like you really don't need to get into nothing, and this could go wrong. So I just want you to let it go. And Maurice tells him, like, listen, I'm not like you. I'm not gonna let him take nothing from me. He already got me in all this trouble. Like, I can see where both people are coming from. Maurice is like, this is it. Like, you've taken enough. You've done enough. However, you need to play strategy, not street, because your ass can go back to jail because you out on bail. Like, you have to keep your nose. Any little infraction is gonna lose Bayou's money, decrease Bayou's faith in Sabrina because he did it off the strength of her. It's just gonna open a whole lot of cans that we don't have time to open. So yes, you need to just let it. Q has gotten you into it this far. You need to be focusing that energy on proving your innocence, thus proving his guilt, and that may get you your stuff in the back end or not. Call it a lesson learned. That's also possible. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Well, I know how it goes by the episode, but we're going to keep going through the review. All right. Gary and Hayden. It's after 5, and they're waiting on Robin, and they're dying to let the shareholders know that he didn't come up with the money. And something about it still don't sit right with me. And it like they said, it shouldn't be this easy. So Hayden already has the papers drawn up, and he's just ready to hit the send button on the email. So he goes ahead and sends the emails off, and they know that Robin's going to contest the outcome, and he's going to fight to the end. But they are celebrating prematurely that they think they've won. So now Hayden is bragging about Tamara, and Gary asks, like, hey, have you vetted this girl? Like, something ain't right. Like, what do you know about her? And of course, Hayden just talking about hunching child. He don't care nothing about it. So Gary offers to look him up for Tamara, and he claims he got it. Hopefully, if Gary want to look out for his friend, he might just go ahead and do it. But if Tamara's story is works for Madam, so him looking her up may not add nothing to the case, because if Madam is as clean as she is, her story's going to come back clean anyway, and it won't even matter. But anyway, what else we got? Zach gets to the shop to talk to Karen. Pam tells Zach about Aaron, the woman showing up to talk to Aaron, and Zach wants no parts of it. He's like, a child, that's not my business. He came there to apologize, but now Karen has an attitude because him and Aaron did get into the little scuffle or whatever, so she's not going to sign. So she basically shoos him away. Pam then comes in and tells her that her friend was able to get Jennifer's information. Karen is not interested in the information, but Pam tells her, when you do want it, I got it for you. All right, y'all. So Sabrina and the other girls, they get to Danny's place, and, she immediately knows, this is an intervention that they scheduled for her, an ambush of sorts. So Andy confronts her on sleeping with the enemy, which is Q, and she explains that she was trying to have a hot girl summer and it went wrong. She didn't know who he was. Fair enough, right? And so they're asking her, like, what is all of this really about? And she immediately feels judged. She immediately feels defensive and attacked. Okay, understandable. And then they remind her about the dude she ran over with her car, and all the other stuff. She tells them, like, listen, I did the hot girl summer was a fail. I'm done with it. And then they continue to go on with the with the intervention. And Karen just kind of puts it all on the table and reminds her of her behavior in college, which is similar to how she's acting now. Just sleeping with a bunch of dudes. They were at a frat party and some dude tried to do something to her. They never really say, but you can kind of guess what that is. And then people were dragging her name through the mud afterwards. Back then, she was uncomfortable about her weight, and she was looking for validation in dangerous situations. So back then, it was her weight, and so she was seeking validation elsewhere. And now maybe she is feeling some kind of way about giving up on Preston, and so she's trying to drown that emotion under a bunch of dudes. Similar concept, different issues, right? And so they're telling her this, and she ends up, they tell her, like, you keep putting yourself in these situations trying to get validation, and you always end up getting taken advantage of. And she asked them, hey, why do you feel like I'm being taken advantage of? Why is it that I'm not taking advantage of them? And then she goes on to tell them, hey, when a man is going through this things and sleeps with a bunch of people, there's no intervention. There's no come to Jesus that we have to have. So why is that the case for me? And I understand what she's saying, but it's not really a man-woman thing in the situation. It is a health and safety thing, because you are just inviting anybody into your house. You've run into one, maybe possibly two dangerous situations. So it's more of like a danger aspect as opposed to, oh, I'm a woman, I can't do it, and a man can do it. That's not really the gist of what they're trying to say to you. But I understand that you're defensive and, you don't want to be judged in this moment. So she's not very, very receptive, nor is she retaining any of what they're trying to say to her. And so Danny, being Danny, she's going to clap back. And so she basically runs down their list of stuff, because they came in with a little bit of high and mighty type attitude, and so now we all speak. She's running down, Andy's issues with Gary and his wife and all that other stuff, and then she runs down to Karen, Aaron, Zach situation, and then she reminds Sabrina, of Bayou, Calvin. Everybody kind of got their own main issues, but it seems like we need to have a come to Jesus when it comes to Danny. And while I understand everybody is well-meaning, Andy, you've had a dangerous situation. Karen, you potentially have, because Zach grabbed your arm not long ago when he got to the fight with Aaron. Sabrina, all right, you might not have a danger aspect to your situation with your man, but I can see what she like. Okay, not too much on the judgment piece. Even though they're coming from concern, not judgment, it's just a weird dynamic. And it's weirder when you have a group. The group aspect sometimes can seem ambushy, or can seem as if y'all all coming for me at one time. So that could be overwhelming. So I can give Danny a pass on that. But she runs them down. She clears them. She runs down all their information, all their indiscretions, and then now nobody got nothing to say. And so she's trying to put them out, and it was like, listen, you've done this before. This don't work for us. We are girls. We're not gonna leave you. Like, we're sitting here in this with you. And she's like, okay, cool. I'm out. Y'all can stay. I'm gonna go. So she leaves her own place. And they still tell her, like, I know you don't feel supported, you don't feel the love right now, but we'll be here when you get back, essentially. So they're there to uphold her and support her in whatever she is going through right now, even though she's not receptive. So I can appreciate that. I can understand. All right. So Fatima gets home, and Zach is still mad about the joke. Then Heather shows up at the door. He had his attorney draw up a similar deal that he offered her, and it's $2,000 a month. And Miss Heather is so happy to take the money. She's just shocked at the amount. She's happy, she's ready, and she's willing to sign. And they tell her, like, listen, um, he also wants weekends. And she was like, shit, I'll bring him to you right now. Do you want him for 365 days? I don't have no problem, as long as I get my $2K a month. So, little Miss Ghetto Girl, Heather, all she wanted was the money anyway. And so they said, you don't got to sign it right now. Get you a lawyer, get you somebody to look at it. But if they tell you that you can get more money, then you're not going to get nothing. So you better just have them, look at it and make sure it's legal, and then you come back with the signed papers. So she don't care. She's excited. 2,000. She's willing to do anything for $2,000 a month that she ain't got to work for. So she is happy and she is satisfied. And so in this moment, Zach, she's gone, and Zach realizes, like, 5 minutes a drunken night has costed him 18 years of his life. 18 years of him having to deal with Miss Ghetto Girl Heather, because, okay, maybe he has dodged a bullet because she got her money, so she's good. That's all she really wanted. So it may come up scot-free. But what I will say is, but he also, okay, I'll get back to that. He also tells not Karen, he also tells Fatima, like, okay, we got Heather squared away, but Karen is not signing, and she figures much because of the fight. So now, but they're up for the fight that's going to come with Karen or whatever the issues are. So they're, they on one accord. And they sum this up, and they put a nice little pretty bow on Fatima and Zach's story, because that's going to translate into Zatima, which came on last night, Thursday night. So that's going to flow over, hopefully, into Zatima. Now, season 1 of Zatima, we have a couple issues there, and I'm going to be reviewing that also on the channel, but I'm trying to pay attention to see, like, the similarities, like, if things are going to be cohesive between the two series. I hope so, because I don't want to get confused no more than I normally am on a daily basis, but we'll see how that goes. Danny is driving. Preston calls her. He still ain't left. He claims he left some clothes at the house, and she's not receptive to anything that makes sense right now. She tells him, listen, I don't care nothing about it. I'm gonna put your crap on a box on the porch. You can come get your stuff, and we're good. I don't have time for it. She ain't up for none of nobody's crap tonight, and so hopefully that's the end of that saga, but I'm sure it isn't. All right, Maurice is outside of the airport, and he's looking for his car, but he looks like he's just wandering around in a lost circle. He's looking lost as hell. Then Q rolls up, and he's looking for his car and his stuff that was taken from his house. Maurice asks Q for his spare keys, which further confirms, like, hey, I thought you had the spare key, but no, you're there to get the spare key back from Q, right? And Maurice threatens to beat him up, and Q was like, oh yeah, well, I got something for you, and pulls out a gun. And in true TV fashion, they get to fighting over the gun, and it goes off. So somebody has been shot in the situation. And no matter how it goes, now Maurice is going to potentially revoke his bail, because I know, like, when you're out on parole, you can't be around weapons and all these other things. But I'm not sure if that is the same for bail. Not sure. But if he got shot, he got a lot going on, because not that long ago he got beat up by the macho dude, and he was in the hospital. So now you about to either head back to the hospital or back to jail, because you weren't receptive to what Calvin was telling you. Or alternate ending. Maybe Q got shot, and it could be considered self-defense, or it could be about, okay, maybe Q got shot. That's a violation of your bail, potentially back to jail, forfeit, your bail money, blah, blah, blah. Or that could prove, okay, self-defense. I was here looking for my car that was stolen. And he got shot, and Q ain't supposed to have no gun, because he got an ankle monitor on, which, domino effect, gets some retribution for his role in y'all being tied up in the legal system, but who really knows at this point? Kind of anticlimactic as far as the season finale is concerned, but I guess the cliffhanger is going to be, who really got shot when the gun went off. We'll see. I'm sure when it comes back. I have no idea when the season's coming back. I'll just be back when it does come back. Let's see. Predictions for next season. Danny's going to get over it. Karen's probably going to finally tell us that Aaron's really that baby's daddy, once everything comes out about Aaron kind of being trifling under the guise of being a nice guy. Sabrina and Maurice, they're going to have to fight this federal case, which they're going to get off on, because maybe the gunshot is going to help them kind of, you know, sway the tide towards Q being the mastermind and them having nothing to do with it. And I know Robin has been able to come up with an alternative plan because he's not as nervous as he was this time around. So the Gary and Hayden plan is going to be foiled in the next season. These are just my predictions. Pretty much, other than that, that's about it. Thank you for being along the ride for these 22 episodes. And like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think about the episode. Like, comment, share, subscribe, or whatever it is that y'all feel like doing. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.